Hey everyone, this is Dr. S. This episode is going to be about competitive analysis, which of course is part of your larger internal and external analysis with your SWOT. Competitive analysis is critical so that you can ultimately identify your value proposition and how it's unique, how it sets you apart from other options in the marketplace so that your stakeholders, customers, etc. will want to engage with you in your product or service or as part of your team rather than substitutes and alternatives, which of course make up the competitors. So let's jump into this. What's the purpose? The purpose is position relative to the substitutes and alternatives for our offerings. And again, this can be both in terms of your customers, but also as for potential employers, potential people you would ally with, suppliers, various folks who people are competing to work with or to sell to or to serve or to gain money from in the case like of a nonprofit. These are all, quote, competitive situations because there's limited amounts of resources, there's different choices people have, and you would like people to choose you over others. Anytime that's the case, then we're in a competitive analysis situation. This will help you make decisions. It will help you take action. This is all shows up in our primary sets of tools. It shows up in the big idea canvas, and it shows up very clearly here because we have down at the bottom current solutions or substitutes and alternatives. And what we're trying to understand there is for the pain or gain that the person has, how are they trying to solve that now? And are they dissatisfied with it? And if so, to what extent are they dissatisfied? Are they actually dissatisfied enough to where they would change? And why are they dissatisfied? This is us building empathy and understanding for this. And this, again, could be customers, could be team members, could be suppliers, could be anybody who's has things that you would like to have or people that you would like to choose you over other areas. Additionally, of course, this is in the business model canvas too, because you have the value propositions. And the value propositions need to be unique value propositions, or they have to have some sort of thing that differentiates you so that, again, team members might join you, or partners might want to be with you, or customers will choose your product and service in exchange for their hard-earned dollars. And of course, it also connects into the value proposition canvas where you're specifically looking for the products and services that you're going to be offering that create gains or relieve pains for customers who are trying to do their, quote, jobs, right? They're trying to do different things and they want certain gains and pains, and how can you meet those? And the implied issue here is that you need to meet them in ways that are significantly different or better than other folks so that people will choose your product, services, be part of your team, supply you, whatever it might be, rather than other alternatives or substitutes. So let's take a look at this a little bit and figure out how we might go about doing this. So one way that you can go about doing this is create a competitive analysis grid. And this can be done with pain relievers and gain creators as well as features. And features is really kind of the classic way you do it. You see this all over the place when you try to understand whether you want a particular online app or whatever. They'll look at different features. They'll compare them across different types of offerings that people will have. Now, I've created a simple example here, and it's very simple. So what you would do will ultimately be much more complex, but I'm doing this to just try to illustrate. And so let's assume that I have a product that is a headache remedy, and it's an oral herbal once a day. And so we can set up this grid to where across the top, up here, we have, the names of the pains and the gains. And we also have particular features of the offering. And so this can be done in two separate grids. Here I've done it together because it can be done that way. This is not a specific way of having to do it. What you need to understand is what will serve you and what you're trying to figure out. And so here I just did a simple thing. So I put Dr. S's herbs. That's my product. So here's the competitors. I identified Johnson & Johnson as Tylenol. You could also do an ice pack. You can also do a special headache meditation technique that you could go to someone, they could teach you, and they could lead you through. So easy headache relief, mine, check plus. That means it's really good. Tylenol, check plus. It actually does a pretty good job. An ice pack does an okay job. It's not that easy. It's not an easy headache relief. And meditation, it's not easy at all. In the way that this competitor is doing things, because you have to go and learn from them, and they have to lead you through it, and so on. Harmless to the body. There's another feature that folks might want. Mine's check plus because it's all natural. Tylenol has some issues there. Ice pack, again, check plus. Meditation, check plus. Harmless. And then so those are the things, these are the desired areas, the easy headache relief, harmless to the bodies. And then there's actually features that are part of this. So like, for example, an easy to take form, Dr. S's Herbs comes in a pill, comes in a bottle, same with Tylenol. Whereas ice pack, you have to hold it on your head, so it's maybe not so easy, and the meditation takes time and energy to go to the place and do the meditation. And again, healthy ingredients. Mine, all natural. You can drink alcohol with it. Tylenol, there's a slight vulnerability here because you can't drink alcohol with it. No side effects to the ice pack, and there's actually positive side effects for the meditation, which actually gives that an up. So what we're dealing with here, as you can see, is that we've got substitutes and alternatives. A substitute would solve it in the same way. So the Tylenol is a pill. It's basically solving it in the same way. Take this pill, your headache's gone. Whereas the alternatives, you solve it in a different way, but it still results in relieving the pain or giving the gain, like the ice pack or the meditation that's solving it in a different way, but it's still trying to address that same pain or gain. And so these products or services will solve the pain or with these types of features. Again, you can do a much more expanded version of this, and you likely will do a much more expanded version. And so you can have as many of these as you need, because this is relatively limited, just for illustration purposes. And so what are you ultimately trying to do? You're trying to draw conclusions about where you're strong, where your competitors are vulnerable, where they're strong, with whom you will compete, with whom you could ally, opportunities and threats. And there's a variety of ways to go about trying to think about these different variables. So for example, you could also do a 2x2 matrix. A 2x2 matrix is really powerful. You could say, okay, the two different areas that we're going to talk about is healthy and convenient. These are the two features, and we'll compare. So the meditation ends up way over here in the upper left-hand corner. Ice pack's kind of in the middle. Dr. Herbal S in the upper right-hand corner, and the Tylenol's down in the bottom right-hand corner. And here, the question for me would come up is like, who else is in this particular box for healthy and convenient, and how would I differentiate against them? I would also be wondering, is healthy and convenient, are those really the critical components for my customers? And of course, I'd have to ask my customers because those answers are outside the box or outside the building. And so it might be that I find out, no, actually, healthy and price are really the two things that are really important to them. So I can compare this. And there, all of a sudden, I end up in competition with the alternative meditation, because I'm a higher priced thing. So some people would be willing to pay more, but some people wouldn't. And so you can look at how these different things play out. You can use all of these different sorts of tools and comparisons to compare and contrast them to bring out insights into where you might find opportunities or threats to move your client or your own venture forward. All right, if you have any questions, just let us know. That's competitive analysis.